Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome back to Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Last time we took a little bit of a detour over to the Sinnoh region and evolved Krako over Mount Coronet. This time, we're going to be disembarking in the place where the game actually tells us to go. Vermilion City in Kanto. And we finally arrive in Kanto proper. And if you played this game for the first time when you were a kid, and you got here after seeing the first generation, you had an absolute fangasm when you got here. Because this is, indeed, the Kanto region. And indeed, we are going to be getting all 8 of the Kanto badges. So many good memories. We could also go back onto the SS Aqua on Wednesdays and Sundays from Vermilion City to Olivine, and I forget the days you can go from Olivine back to Vermilion. But there are new trainers that you can fight on each of the 2 cruises. I just forget who's where or when and what, but there's so much exploring that we could do around here that... Suicune! It looks like he ran all the way here from Johto. That's quite a run. But Usain is here too. Haven't seen him in a while. But if you get to this point in the game and you don't see Suicune on your way off of the SS Aqua, you need to go find him in the places in Johto that you haven't spotted him before. Most likely you missed him in Mount Mortar near the apricorn trees. But this is indeed the Kanto region. Oh my god, I think I am having a fangasm right about now, but there's a Snorlax blocking this way into Diglett Cave and further east, so we're not going to be able to go that way. Not for a little while. I mean, there's a lot of free roaming you can do at this point. There are so many places that you can go, so many different things you can do. We can fight... There are 6 trainers that we could fight in the gyms, 6 leaders. I don't remember if they show up on our trainer card yet. Yes, they do! At the bottom 8 there, you can see. The only one that may not seem right is the 8th one, but we'll get to him later. We could fight any of the first 6 gym leaders in Kanto in any order that we like. And for the longest time I was considering actually fighting them in... It's a Bayleaf! In the order that you did in the original... first generation, like starting with Brock and then going to Misty and Lieutenant Surge and so on. But I ultimately decided the whole reason I keep track of what badges I have in the top right corner is for me to take on the gyms in any order that seems convenient for me right now. And it would kind of defeat the purpose of having the badges up there in the first place if I didn't just go about that in no particular order, so... I'm just going to be defeating the gyms as we come across them in the towns. I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to go from one town to the next. Like, Saffron City to see the Magnet Train might not be a bad idea to head there next. In fact, I think we have to go there unless we might be able to take the underground path. I don't remember this part of the game isn't as clear to me as the first half, because I'm more familiar with getting through here in the first generation as opposed to the second where they remade it. But if we head up here, we meet another fisherman. I don't really intend to catch any Magikarp. It would be nice if you could get the Super Rod from this guy. We will, but we won't be able to get it for a little while. Not that you guys are really interested in seeing me fish at all. Well, if we want to all be honest with ourselves, you're only here to see me take on Lieutenant Surge, and my mulling around here accomplishing next to nothing isn't what you came here for. I don't know why I'm going in circles in terms of my logic. I just want to get exploring the city out of the way first before we actually tackle anything. Wait a minute, You're not Cameron, are you? Cameron came all the way over here just to take our picture. Sure, to celebrate the fact that we finally evolved Krako into a Magnezone. And he's completely covered up by Duster's tail. Way to go, Duster. So I think before we actually head into the gym, we have to grab somebody who knows cut so we can actually get in. Or just to be rebellious, let's not and just surf around, because we weren't able to do that in the first generation, were we? Like I said 2 minutes ago, I'm too familiar with getting through here in the first generation and not in the second. But you can tell the music is different in here as well, and that's going to be a common theme for all the battles that we have in Kanto. All the battles that we have in here, wild encounters and trainer battles, are going to be remixes of their first generation music, so it's going to be really nice. The Lightning American. Does America exist in Pokemon? That's... I mean, I know the Unova region is modeled after it, but does America actually exist here? And oh boy! Everyone remembers this puzzle. The good thing is, it's been out of commission for a while. The bad news is, they're up and running just in time for us to get here. I call bullshit. But let's just get the fights out of the way first, because these guys are only going to give us trouble if we don't deal with them now. And as his name would imply, Lieutenant Surge does indeed specialize in the electric type. And this guy has a full team! Oh boy, is this going to be difficult. Just take a look at those levels. They're up to the same level as the Elite Four were, and this is going to be more of a challenge than I'm giving it credit for. I'm actually hoping that I don't get my ass handed to me here, but we'll see. But there's Helping Hand in action. It's a priority move that makes your... well, not your opponent, your partner's move more powerful. But the disadvantage is you don't get a chance to move in that turn. That pretty much takes up your turn. So much nostalgia with these sounds, especially this particular remix of the Kanto trainer battle. You're kidding me, right? The first trainer battle in Kanto, and Duster gets perilous. Sure! Why not? Why the hell not? But what I like about this remix, it just has such a good beat to it. And there's another... I mean, you don't see very many smart double trainer battles in this game. But there you have... Was it Electrode using an electric-type move on Jolteon to heal it up because it had Volt Absorb? You don't see that kind of partnership helping out in these games very often. I'd very much like to get rid of you, Jolteon. You're just being a pain in the ass. Honestly though, Electrode, if I were in your shoes, I'd be using something like Discharge, where it would hurt both of us and heal Jolteon at the same time, although I'm not sure if Electrode gets Discharge. I'm actually surprised Duster hasn't gotten paralyzed yet, fully paralyzed. And I'm also surprised that didn't jinx it, because I thought he had already gone. I think I'm going to spend the rest of this video just sitting quietly, nodding to the music in rhythm to the beat, because I'm enjoying it so much. I can't even put together a full thought, because I'm so excited just to hear this music. And I know I say that a lot, and it's kind of sounds like I'm making an excuse for myself, but I cannot put together a full thought because I am just having a nostalgia attack right now. Please don't crit, Duster. There you go, fully paralyzed. Now, I don't want to lose Duster at this point. I'm not sure who I will switch in for him. I guess Graco could resist everything, but he can't necessarily do anything. Because I think electricity resists steel. I could bring in HCB and Earthquake it, but that would also hit Klaus. I think I'll just go with... Well, Lupus is too frail. I guess I do have to stick with Duster and take the risk. I don't want to have him faint. And let's go for the Electrode because it's probably the strongest of the two. And hope they just don't take out Duster. Oh man, this music! I can't... I'm sorry, I just can't put together another thought that doesn't explain just how excited I am. But Gyro Ball! Steel-type move that does more damage based on how much faster you are compared to the person that you're trying to hit it with. Didn't do too much damage because we were faster than the Voltorb who used it. And it actually might be the reverse. I think it's the reverse, where it does more damage based on how much faster your opponent is than you. PPU, get on that, will ya? Thank you! I want to say the other guy's out of Pokemon, because I've just been concentrating on the stronger one. And I think he's the one that had all of the Electrodes. This guy had Jolteon and Voltorbs. Although I think he still has one more left, and I'm not paying attention to just how much health we're losing. Holy crap. But Magnemite, this isn't going to bode well for either of us. I say we get the hell out of here and go with someone else before we lose either of these guys. Because we know all the ins and outs of Magnemite. Lupus should be able to take it out with a Fire Blast, and Krako should just sit there to take hits because I only need one thing to knock that guy out. I can't believe I'm putting so much thought and effort into our first trainer battle in Kanto. This is very, very weird to me. At the very least, if Fire Blast missed, we could confuse it. But I'm thinking... yeah, we should be good for one more fight before we take on the gym leader. I do want to run back for a heal, but I don't think it's necessary right now. No need to waste time if we don't have to. He says after he wasted the first 5 minutes walking around town just talking to people. You guys are used to it by now. Stop complaining. So let's not give Duster too much of a hard time and just go to HCB. I wanted to hold off on using him because Earthquake is pretty much going to wreck everything in this gym. And if I had a flying type on my team, I would have certainly used it in tandem with Earthquake on the last fight, but... Pikachu! So cute! But yes, Earthquake is going to destroy everything. I also gave HCB the Soft Sand to make it even more powerful! So, we're pretty much going on autopilot right now. And this is the kind of fight that later on I'm probably going to be cutting out, but I think I'll leave in all of the gym trainer fights, just because it makes for a more interesting video. And unlike Gold and Silver, we'll be running into Hoenn and Sinnoh Pokemon around as well. Electrike being an electric type from the Hoenn region, and one that I used when I played through Emerald. Or, well, I think it was Emerald. I only played through the 3rd generation once. I don't know why I'm confusing myself. Really nice poke. And Flaffy, who we've seen before. But I will be cutting out a lot of the boring trainer fights because there's one particular route between Lavender Town and... what's it called? The one all the way into the south where you fight the Poison-type gym. Why am I blanking on the name? Fuchsia City. Yeah, there's a nice long chain of routes between those two cities that... there are going to be a lot of trainer battles that I may just want to cut out, but I'll probably still talk over them. I don't know, we'll get into that when we get into that. In the meantime, I'll go heal these guys up real quick. And now for the most fun part of the video. The puzzle. Each of these has the chance of having a sequence switch at the bottom. That deactivates the first gate. In order to deactivate the second gate, you have to check out one of the surrounding cans, including this one, because now that we activated the switch here, this one may potentially have the second switch. One of these three will deactivate the other gate. How the hell did I get it on the first try? Do you know how long it normally takes to do this puzzle? You could be around here for 10 or 15 minutes, and I just did that on the first try! Holy crap! Hi, Lieutenant Surge, I'm riding on a high. You ready to have your ass handed to you? Is that a yes? And no, I haven't looked up their teams in advance. He starts with a level 51 Raichu. Hi, buddy. You like spamming Double Team, which is why I hate you so much. But all I have to do is hit you with one Earthquake. And all of a sudden, this fight got a lot more manageable. I think we have seen a Raichu before. A freakishly low-level one, too, earlier on. I just forget when it was. But, of course, that's his trademark, or signature Pokemon, Raichu! The biggest thing with the electric types here in this gym is that they're fiendishly fast, although maybe not the most powerful things in the world. Light Screen's going to raise their special defense, which doesn't necessarily amount to much, because I'm going to be relying on physical attacks. So have fun with that, you're just discouraging me from switching up to other Pokemon. But I'm thinking, instead of trying to switch things up like I normally do, I'll try rampaging through these guys with one guy if I can, just for the sake of it. At least for this gym, because HCB is the only one who has a super effective move against them. But they're all much more powerful than me. Shockwave is an electric-type move that never misses, similar to Swift. Not the most powerful thing in the world, but at the same time, you could hit your opponent if, say, they're using Double Team! A lot. But this music! Oh my god! I believe this is also one of the few tracks that has been remixed in every single Pokemon generation since the first. But being in the remakes here for, well, it was in Red, Blue, and Yellow, it was in Gold, Silver, Crystal because they redid the regions, and it was in the 3rd and 4th generation remakes of both of those generations as well. And in the 5th generation, the Pokemon World Tournament in Black 2, White 2, they brought back the gym leaders, and they remixed all of their themes for the World Tournament, which is awesome. And besides the actual gym background music and the Pokemon Center background music, I can't think of any other tracks from the 1st generation that have been remixed in every single game since then. But if you're going to be spamming Double Team, I'm going to be spamming Earthquake. It's only fair. I also love how that was a legitimate strategy, where we hit both times with having the lowered or increased evasiveness on their side. I was going to say lowered accuracy on ours, but they're two different things that amount to the same thing in the end. And with that, we defeat Lieutenant Surge with one hand tied behind our backs. Actually, both. I don't know what HCB does to shake the earth in order to cause an earthquake. But with that, we get our first badge from the Kanto region, the Thunder Badge. And along with this, we get his trademark TM for this generation, TM34, which I believe is Shockwave. It's an interesting move to use, but at this point, it's not the best move you could be using. And with that, we will say goodbye to this puzzle, hoping we never ever have to see it again. But before we leave Vermillion, I do want to surf around to see what kind of items we can pick up. Because there are definitely a couple of them down by the pier, and I'm not going to put up a rappel in case we do run into anybody interesting, but I believe the only ones that we're going to find are Tentacool and Tentacruel, so maybe it is worth putting up a rappel, I'm not sure, probably is. So let's get on that before I change my mind. Bring up our dowsing machine, and make our way over to the sandbar where I saw a hidden item over there. I also saw one over here as well. Not necessarily hidden, but a luck incense. Now we're going to start finding items that will allow us to breed for different types of Pokemon that we couldn't before, that weren't available until the 4th generation, I think. But the Wax Incense, it doubles prize money you earn, similar to the Amulet Coin we got for defeating... I forget where we got that. I want to say it was somewhere around Goldenrod City. But you can also give this to a particular Pokemon that, if you breed it, will get its baby form that you wouldn't be able to breed for otherwise. And there are a number of other incense items like that as well that we'll be picking up. that I won't be using because I already have a team that I like. But it's cool that they actually bring them in here. There are a lot of... How am I supposed to get down to the pier from here? Over there, I guess we could take a little bit of a detour over to a route that we're not going to be fighting any trainers on yet. Unfortunately for us, Snorlax is in the way, so we're not going to get that. Man, I really wanted to get the item down there. I guess we'll have to remember it's there for next time. Speaking of next time, we'll be heading north from Vermilion City over to... I haven't decided which yet. Let's just open up the... I keep thinking the map is in the key items. It's been too long since I've played this game. We'll be heading up north either to Saffron or to Cerulean if we could get there, which I don't think we can. So we'll probably be heading to Saffron next time. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you then.